back in the UK now, so
She is back from our America trip.
sad times.
But
Miami
you had
is a
fun.
vibe. Oh, I love America.
I was
What's
living
not to
through
like
you.
about America?
I know.
Um, I loved Miami. Have you been to Miami before?
Been to a few places, but not Miami. So it will
It's a
be on the bucket list.
vibe.
And I'm very upset you didn't bring me back any Harry Potter stuff. Just saying.
Look,
You're
I'll
like,
just
oh
put it
yeah,
out
there's going to be
there.
Harry Potter
I'm.
Cinnabon.
I was only thinking about myself.
Thanks. I know this relationship.
I barely bought anything back for myself, to be honest with you.
It's fine.
And
That's
I
not
just
there. I'm
went
going to
for
put it on the
my
shopping list.
staple favourites. I got my cold brew M&Ms. Have you tried them? They're so good.
No, what do I normally get? Coffee mate. Love a coffee mate.
Okay.
Do you like the creamer stuff?
No, I drink Americanos unless I'm having a
Oh,
latte. And
oh no,
then
but that's quite good in it. And then what else is good? Oh, I like all like their protein and protein bars out there. Also,
that's too bodybuilder for me. What did
uh, anything
I
Oreo related as well.
do you know what? I was really gutted because my favourite Oreos are the birthday cake ones and I couldn't find them anywhere.
Oh, really?
I went to about 4 or 5 uh, Walmarts and what's the one that begins with P? Publix. Publix?
Publix. Yeah, Publix.
Um, couldn't find them anywhere. Though I did get, and this I feel like
Important.
this is solid selection for me. Cheetos,
Yeah.
dark chocolate Oreos.
Oh,
I got Nutter Butters,
oh, we got to get a Nutter Butter. I
cold
love it. I
brew.
love a Jif.
Oh yeah, I did. Well, obviously I had all this in my hand luggage, so I couldn't get any like liquidy kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
I got cold brew M&Ms, and I got cinnamon toast crunch.
Gotta get anything cinnamon out there is going to be good.
So yeah, I feel like I got something else, but I can't remember what it is.
I
But
will
yeah,
be. I've already got a list that I'll be sending to Matt, so I will make sure
but
he brings me back stuff.
if you
But
go if you go to Miami, just brush up on your Spanish.
oh yeah, you were saying that at the weekend.
Genu, I
Um,
knew it was very Hispanic influenced as a state, like Florida, but Miami, their primary language is Spanish.
yeah. See, I'm useless, so I would be quite bad at that.
But it is a vibe. If anyone's thinking of going, it is a vibe.
But it was nice to see you actually at the weekend, not through a screen.
Yes, always a pleasure. Got to
Do a
go and
little
cheer
catch
for my
up.
girl as well.
It's a very busy weekend. So we had the Universe obviously on the Saturday and then the actual qualifiers and everything on the Sunday. We had quite a few of the girls that actually did the Saturday. They were actually the girls that also won their classes on the Sunday as well.
Yes.
So we will make sure we go through everyone. If anyone ever like wants to ask us anything afterwards, if they're not sure on anything, we did say like before we started the podcast today that the judging was a bit like some we agreed with, some we're like, I mean, and you're trying to work it out from the judge's point of view. So there are some controversial opinions behind things, and it's not to say anything's wrong, but just from what we know with PCA and what our thoughts are with certain
Yeah.
things. But I
Yeah.
think
So
that's the whole point of it. It's a very subjective sport, so we're not on the judging
100%.
panel. So
I think anything that we ever have to say is never. We would never take away from anybody. So if you happen to win a class or an overall or a pro card or whatever it is, we celebrate that, and the judge's decision is the judge's decision at the
yeah,
end of the day. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Like, I hate it when people are like, the judges got it wrong. It's like, well, the judges are the judges, so they didn't get it
what's
wrong.
it
Like,
going to change?
the only opinion that matters is the judge's opinion. But like
Yeah,
you say, it is a subjective sport. So I think that any commentary that we make around things that we maybe thought could do with improving is more constructive criticism, or maybe, like you say, we're identifying that the outcome was maybe a bit different to what we would expect from PCA. But I think that could, and
yeah,
just touching on that, that can happen at maybe your universe and worlds shows, where people often forget that I would say that maybe 50% of the judging panel at any given time at Universe, well, the Universe show, not necessarily, I don't know about the pro qualifier, not the pro qualifier, the regional, because I wasn't
Yeah.
there. But the main Universe day, at least 50% of the judging panel at any given time was international judges.
Yeah.
So, you know, you had Thailand there, I think Italy were there, Spain were definitely there. And they were rotating judges in.
Yeah.
So even though the criteria is the same for all of the PCA countries internationally, they're all going to have their own view on what they think fits the criteria best based on what they see in their own countries. So the more international judges you have on the panel, the more that can shift the outcomes sometimes from what we typically know of being PCA to something maybe slightly different in terms of outcome when it comes to shows where there's more international presence on the panel.
Yeah, I think it's also good to know that it's what looks good on you for your physique as well, because what someone else might be winning on if it's more condition, but you don't. If you brought more condition, you just look stringy. Like you don't try and copy what that is, or if you were to look fuller but you don't have the muscle that you're filling and then you just look soft. Like, still bear in mind, yes, what the criteria is, but also what your physique is. So you're 100%. Bringing a look that's solid for you as well. So fit the criteria, mold to the criteria, but take feedback on board. Think about who you're stood against and think about how your look is best suited for that. Don't just go, well, she was bigger or she was way leaner, so now that's what I've got to do. Because like if I came in stupidly lean, I would just lose all my glutes and then I just look withered.
I think that's a common mistake that people make, and you see it a lot, I would say, particularly with NPC, where like you see the Olympia, it's like you'll see like whoever wins the Olympia and then everyone's trying to replicate that look, and it's like NPC have quite openly said multiple times they are looking for you to produce the best look that suits you and your physique, and that's going to look slightly different on different people. And it's no different with PCA really, except they tend to have more of a leaning towards more condition than what NPC would. But like mine and your physiques, obviously we've never competed against each other, but we bring very different looks. Like I would say that you're more muscled than I am, but I typically get shredded out of my head. And it's like, I know that my physique doesn't suit a softer look because I need to be that lean for my physique to have the pop that it does. Whereas you can typically carry a little bit more fullness and that favours your physique, but that doesn't mean that that makes either of us any less pro bikini. We just have slightly different looks that need to be presented a different way, but both fit the category criteria.
Yeah, exactly that. So we'll start off with fit model. So going through, I think there was
it's G's favourite category. She keeps talking about this one.
Yes, because I've been so excited for it because I want people in it. I want to see the comparisons. I want to see what's going on. So there was.
I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised that more of the fit model girls that qualified didn't turn up.
Yeah. I'm sad purely because I just want to see you up there so we can keep having that feedback, so we can keep seeing things. So there was 3 on the Saturday and then there was 1 extra on the Sunday. And then we've got so the winner was Rach, and she also won on the Sunday as well. So again, this is one of those things where people can be going, why did Rach win? You know, what is going to be the criteria? Because I'm not going to lie, I would have thought it would have been possibly someone leaner, but it looks like they've gone for possibly, you can see she's got muscle there. So they've gone on this day for someone that's fuller, I would say. She carries herself nicely. She poses really nicely. She's a little bit wobbly on the Saturday, but less wobbly on the Sunday. And that's where it can be good to get on stage a few times to just bring that confidence out that little bit more. But yeah, because when you look at it on the Sunday, I think that's probably going to be best if we just flip between like the Saturday and Sunday. Because we then had... obviously Freya, we've talked about Freya a few times on the Sunday, and she has been doing really well. But if we compare her physique, if I can get the pose down up for the fit model, if we compare her physique to Rach, she is just so much more slender. So if I then look at the placings of who came first, second, third, fourth out of the four girls on the Sunday, that's what I'm putting it down to based on the feedback I can think of looking at them all as a whole is Freya got her placing just because she is that little bit smaller, and they've gone for someone like Rach who has got that more muscle there underneath, but it's still a softer look, but has that muscle there.
Yeah. I think like when Fit Model PCA first announced Fit Model, I got asked a lot what I felt that would mean for PCA. And I'll always say the same thing. Like, whilst I am an accredited judge for PCA, I'm not a spokesperson for the judges of PCA. And I always said that I felt like Fit Model wouldn't be lacking in muscle. I also didn't feel like they would be lacking in condition. Because, like, typically with all of the classes for PCA, condition is what they're known for. So I'll be interested to see if this is the standard that they maintain at the British, because as we know, when it comes to the British, by the way, Rachel, that is not me saying that you're not of standard. It's just we all know that from the British, everybody gets shredded out of their head for the British. So
and the British is normally a more popular show as well. So again, you've got all the girls that, again, with Fit Model might be doing from the Southwest the next show all the way up into the British. And you might even get some of these girls that might carry on, like Rach might be carrying on. Like, it'd be great if you do. For our sake, get in there. Like, do it if you can hold on, get in amongst more girls.
I think if I'm looking at the girls, because for some reason on my side, I don't know why, but it's going really slow. I think that what they've gone for, or what it seems they've gone for at Universe, is size and shape. And they focus less on condition. Because I think that there were other girls in the lineup that were potentially a bit more conditioned, but had less muscle and therefore less shape or silhouette. And so I feel like silhouette and muscle have favoured on this occasion. And again, we've got to remember that with the mix of international judges on the panel, they might have a slightly different interpretation of what they interpret Fit Model to be. So I would be interested to see whether or not this is still the kind of look that they go for at the British and Worlds. I think once we get to the end of the year and we've got our 3 Fit Model champions from Universe, British and Worlds, we should hopefully be able to get a more rounded view of what the expectation is.
Yeah, and for anyone that wasn't there that might be wondering, there wasn't a pro card awarded, whether it was because again, they only award who they see fit as pro worthy, or whether they are wanting to build more traction first and then start, we don't know on that front, but just so if people did have the questions on that front, no pro card as yet awarded for Fit Model, but it might be the fact that more the numbers come up, the more they start thinking about a pro ranking for Fit Model, depending how that goes.
Yeah, I don't know this for sure, so don't quote me on this, but I think from memory, the first pro card that they gave for wellness was at the British. And so maybe that's the angle that they're going for again with this, because obviously, as we know, like, the British is probably, like, if you were to say what the biggest PCA show is on the show calendar, it would be the British. So I do wonder if that's going to be the first show that they look to give a pro card at, with the aim being that they won't offer Fit Model as a pro category until next year.
Yeah, so I think it's just you've got to build the numbers up as well, keep it coming in that sense. But wellness wise, I love this at the end of the pose down when they're done, and then they're just like, that's what I like when girls are just, you're there to support each other at the end of the day. So it's really, really nice to see, and it's nice to see that was caught as well on camera. But you had these two, it was Jolie and Kat took the win, so it's just the two on the Saturday. And then they both competed again on the Sunday, and there was actually five girls on the wellness on the Sunday. So we've seen these girls before, so it's really nice to see them keep coming back. So yeah, I'd say just as far as like Kat in relation, I think the pose down's quite good, especially when there's only a couple of them for those comparisons. Just say Kat just came in that bit leaner, has that little bit more muscle. So it's just more of, just has that denser physique, which is more attributed to the wellness criteria. So both presented really well, but that's what I'd say is just, that's why she pipped to the post, just because she's got that dense muscle, but also got that bit of leanness to her.
Yeah, no, I there's not much more I can argue in that front. I think Kat presents herself really confidently and nicely as well, which will obviously add to the whole persona that she's projecting. But I think that it's density there, like when you see her in some of her shots, like particularly like the side profile shots, you can see in the glute that there's a lot of solid muscle there, in comparison to the people that she was competing against, or the person that she was competing against in the regional. So that I can see why that outcome went that way.
And then we go to the Sunday where there were more girls, but again, we have spoken about Georgia before. Let's get her up. And it's just, we said from the beginning, wasn't it? She is the definition of wellness.
Yeah, and I think like
when it goes across her glutes, it's like, yeah, that's her.
it was just a really nice polished look. Do you know what I mean? Like it's really hard to critique it because the density is there, the condition is there, the lower body dominance is there. Like there's not, the only thing that I said to G when she came off stage, because she asked me how her posing was, and I said that I felt like she could deliver herself a little bit more confidently. That's, there wasn't anything that I would have noted was wrong with her posing. I just think that particularly with her now being a pro, congratulations by the way, that if she can deliver herself with a bit of that wellness sass, because I think with wellness you can be a little bit more exaggerated and a bit more we're sassy as bikini girls, but like the wellness girls ooze a level of Jessica Rabbit, I like to say. I always say that if Jessica Rabbit was a real person, she'd be a wellness girl, right? So, I feel like that sophisticated sexiness,
like the sultriness that comes with it, like the moving of the hair, but like with their hands coming off and the way they move their hands in their transitions.
Higher. Yeah, it's a lot higher and more exaggerated than what we would say. You've got to be intentional when you pose for wellness. So I think now it's just about matching that beautiful physique with a confident persona that will level up that whole performance. But like I say, in terms of the physique, like I felt like the fullness, the condition, the shape, everything was on. So I feel like the outcome was not unexpected.
Yeah, definitely. And I'd be excited to know, obviously, what her next steps would be going forward, with how long of a growth she's going to have, like how long it's taken her to get to here, to then how long on off season, like to see her come back, because there's something we always say, like you can't change your structure, and if you've got some structure there that's just, she is made for it, it'd be exciting to see how she just keeps going with it, just keep packing on the muscle with it.
Yeah, I think it's, like I think we mentioned before that G used to do figure. So she had a solid level of muscle to begin with, and she's obviously started working to bring out that lower body dominance now. So I think just building on that more, I'm excited to see what that looks like. So yeah, bring it on.
And then I don't think they've got the junior, they probably do have the pose down, but they've just not done it in order. So, unless they
by the way, if I'm looking down at my phone to look at the reels, because for some reason, is it all playing okay on your screen?
Yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah, no, because on mine it's showing like it's not playing properly.
Okay.
So I'm just getting it up on my screen so that I can have a look.
Okay, so you're just getting snapshots.
Yeah, no,
So
literally, it's like pose, pose, pose. I'm like, wonderful.
if this gets uploaded, people, I'm really sorry, but we held off for this podcast so we couldn't put it in. So you get what you're given, basically. We made it to this point. I can't stop now. We might never start.
No,
Um,
it's fine. We continue. I think it's done this before, G, and then when you've uploaded it, it's been fine. So it's
okay,
probably just
hopefully.
my experience that's a terrible one, but it's okay.
Okay. God. Well, Junior, there must have only been one girl for the Saturday, which was Kaya, who also then did the Sunday show, and there was 6 juniors in the Sunday show. She still won, and she still won her pro card. So congratulations to Kaya. Let's see if I can get the post down for that one. But there's a good few bunch of girls, wasn't there, in the junior post down?
Yeah.
There we go, it's coming up now. Yeah, so there was six girls in the junior post down. And do you know what? Juniors' confidence is just, I love to see it. All of them had such good confidence on stage.
Yeah, I always feel like, and I've said this before, that I feel like the insecurity level sometimes comes with age. It's
Oh
almost
yeah.
like, I always feel like the embarrassment level increases as we get older towards masters. Like, and I don't know if it's the same with you, that when I'm coaching or
Oh
pose
yeah.
coaching masters competitors, I'm always like, come on, like, give that personality. And it always feels like they hold themselves back a little bit more because they feel silly doing it. Whereas, like, I
Yeah,
feel
because they're
like
like
when you,
moms or they've got their family or friends and they're like, what am I
yeah,
doing? But yeah, being a
yeah.
junior, just all
Well,
caution to the wind.
exactly. And you kind of think, like, I always say that the bikini personality is like cheerleader like, right? And obviously, like, when you think of like cheerleader bubbly energy, it's young, right? So I always
Yeah.
feel like the juniors can play on that a little bit extra and just take it there that little bit more. So
Yeah.
I love the energy that comes from the juniors.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like when we watch like just the juniors as a whole, like when like each impose, not just like Kaya, so we've got Holly here, nice big smiles when she walks on. And it's just like the posture as well, like chest up, like holding yourself really nicely. Got Mia here came third, like the way she's like just brings that smile on, like yeah. So if you are ever watching, just watch juniors pose because
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen it with my girls, like when, like you said with yours, like when juniors pose, they just have so much fun with it, and that's what it should be. Like
Yeah. For
you've
every
done work,
category,
you've
though.
made that day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I always say, like, don't try to bring a personality that's not you, but whatever you are, do it confidently, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, yeah, I love the energy, and it's nice to see the juniors not looking scared and getting up there and having fun with it. But I think that the juniors scare me a little bit because some of the structures that come through with juniors now, I'm like, where are you lot being bred? Like in
Yeah.
some kind of lab or something? Like, what is this? But yeah, some really, really nice structures in
Well,
junior.
it was we'll obviously go on to it, but Khalees, who won the pro show, won her pro card as a junior. She only just is she still a junior? Or is she only just not a junior anymore? But she won the whole pro show, like
It
absolute
can be
nuts.
done.
So
Well, the thing is,
yeah.
Libby got her pro card as a junior as well, and like she's done very
Mm,
well in the pro division since she turned pro.
mm.
I think that people are starting bodybuilding much younger now. I think like when we started, like it you didn't really get many junior competitors that were taking it seriously, whereas I feel like now there's a lot of people that are like late teens getting into bodybuilding, and it's making the junior category a lot more exciting and competitive.
And then talking about competitive, the Masters, every show, the Masters are just turning up. So confidence aside, the numbers for the
Yes,
Masters is something
big
else. So
classes.
it was a big class on the Saturday, and we had Sam for the 35 plus, who's done a few shows
Yes,
and has been winning. So this is Sam. Interesting with the white bikini.
yes.
'Cause I
So
I would normally always say no because at the thought of it, But actually, on Sam specifically, I do think it actually looks okay. But if
Did
someone
Sam
was to
wear the
say to
white
me,
bikini? Did she wear the white bikini at her regional?
no, so interesting, because I remember this because she's gone for two different colours that normally if a client said to me I'm going for this, I probably would say please don't. But she has suited it. The first one was like an orangey brown
Gold.
colour,
Yeah, a
goldy
goldy
colour,
kind of
gold
colour.
colour.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wasn't sure if it was the same bikini or not, but I knew it was like a not a typical colour that you would often see. I have
Yeah.
had a client wear Princess Ice White before. um, oh yeah, I couldn't remember because Sam was in the same class as my client
Yeah.
who competed at the show. But I'm not. I'm against white for NPC
Oh my God, don't do it
because
for NPC.
no, I think like some people chuck in some colours sometimes that you wouldn't typically see with NPC, and I'm like, that's a bit of a risk. And I think that in order for it to not matter, you would have to be the standout best in your class, so it's a bit of a risk.
Yeah.
But with PCA, I'm like, whatever floats your boat.
The funny thing is,
I've
like,
worn some crazy colours.
it's a bit like with, like, obviously the standard for bikinis for a bikini competitor is you can have maybe an ombre, but stick to a static color. You can have scatters, you can have an ombre, but don't go patterns. You can't do patterns.
No,
But
no.
in a
Well,
PCA,
I mean,
I've seen
technically
cheaper.
on
I've seen Great Britain flags. I've seen that in a bikini. But like you said, NPC still stick
yeah,
to the basics. Like there is that.
yeah,
There's a bit more leeway with PCA. There
yeah.
is. If you want to bring that personality out more, and I do think actually the white does look really nice on something. The contrast is actually it. I yeah. If you were on paper and you said to me I'm going to wear white, I'd be like, oh my God. But I actually think it looks quite nice on her.
I think it suits a particular kind of person. Like
Yes.
I've worn almost every colour under the rainbow. Like people ask me what my stage colour is, and I'm like, I don't know. I'll wear anything, but I've never worn white. And I feel like it takes a particular kind of look to pull it off.
I think with you, with your orange, like I think that's so you. I could never pull a. I can't even pull a green off. I'm not going to even wear green. So like, I know there's certain colours that will suit me, and that's the fun of like this sport. Like this is why it's nice to have so many options because. Yes, you've all got the same tan roughly, and then you're going to do your hair a certain way. You're going to bring a certain look, but it's also your physique and what does actually look good on you as a physique as a whole.
Yeah. And I mean, just touching back on what you were saying about bikinis and stuff like that, like, technically in the rules, there isn't anything that says you can't have a pattern as a bikini competitor. It's not typically done. And I know that if you went to Black Ice and said to Mandy, I want to have a figure pattern on my bikini, she'd be like, no. So typically it is single block colours or ombres.
Or scattered, could have
Yeah,
like a main color with the odd pigment in.
yes. Yeah, but you don't typically, it's not to say you can't,
Yeah,
but you don't typically
tend to
see,
see it. I'd say it's very much for me. This might be saying like a specific standard. It's very much for me like when you are doing a pose down and you hit your normal poses. I personally think you stick to it's boring, but stick to it because it's kind of that
yeah.
caliber you're bringing to the stage.
Yeah,
If you
there's,
want to like hit a most muscular or something like, I feel like you do that on a different stage. But
yeah.
each to their own. That's my
There's
personal.
there's unwritten rules.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Where it's like there will be nothing in the rules that say you can't do these things. But if you speak to experienced athletes or coaches or even certain judges, they might say you can, but I'd prefer it if you didn't.
yeah,
It's like shoes, right? Like you could, you can. There's nothing in the rules that says you can't. I don't believe wear gold ones, but you just wouldn't.
yeah. Yeah, there's that kind of standard to it. But anyway, so Sam won on the on the Saturday,
Off
but
on a tangent.
interestingly, she came fourth. There was 13
Yeah.
girls on the Sunday, and she came fourth. And we had M winning on the Sunday. Where let me get M up, who actually got a pro card. So well done to M, and she won the
Congrats.
pro
Won the
show as
pro show.
well. So imagine just knocking that
Absolutely.
all through like that as well.
Sometimes it just happens like that, you know. But I think that
Mm.
this is what I was saying before, like when we did, I think it was the last episode where I was saying, look, like if you don't win your regional, don't don't make that a case for not turning up. But equally, you can win your regional, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna clean up at a championship show, because you are going up against other people that have won other shows. And I think the top four, I want to say, there were definitely at least three people in the top six
Laura had
placings
won
that
an
won
overall.
overalls. So they'd Laura won an overall, Sam had won an overall, and M had won an
Yeah,
overall. I don't know
yeah.
if I can't remember if there were others that had won overalls, but like it was a tough
No, I
class.
think they
Like
stung up. Yeah.
um, so yeah, my client was in this class and came like middle of second call outs, and like
Mm.
she didn't look out of place. She was just smaller than the girls that were in the top six, and I think that that's, I wouldn't say that Ems was the biggest in
Structurally,
her
I think it's
lineup.
just a very, again, I think it just looks good on her. That's what it is, because she's not the leanest, she's not the biggest, she's not the fullest. She's very balanced. She structurally looks very nice. It's a very nice bikini look. Like she's got nice
Yeah.
abs, nice wide top line. She poses quite nicely. So again, if she then
Yes.
tried to be the most muscular person in the world, like, or the most lean, let's take Laura. Laura's shredded.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, she had glute striations. So there's differences there. So
Yeah.
it is about not chasing what someone else is doing and what looks best on you, and bringing that, because
Yeah.
then you've brought that officially, as cheesy as it is, that is your best look.
Yeah, and I think there was a lot of this in this class, because there were girls that I would say that were maybe more muscular and leaner, but maybe didn't have the best fit structure for
Hmm.
bikini. But then there were other girls in the class who were maybe that little bit smaller and less conditioned, but had um, their bikini was unquestionably bikini. Their bikini
Yeah,
was unquestionably, their structure was
their structure. Yeah,
unquestionably bikini. So I think it was battle of structure versus size and condition in the
yeah,
Masters. Um, it's interesting to me, and I know that we spoke about this before, because I think that maybe up to this show, if you'd have asked me what Pro Masters was, I would typically say that size and condition has been favoured. You know, if you look at the likes of Emily Wilkinson, who's, even as a Pro Master bikini competitor myself, like I say that she's pretty much the epitome of what that category should be, in my opinion.
yes,
Whereas I would say in this show, size and condition for masters wasn't what was favoured. So it's interesting that it's swung. And
yeah.
I'm just interested to see if that trend carries, the same as what we were talking about with Fit Model. I'm interested to see if that trend carries as we go into the later shows, because like we say, typically, especially when we get down to like British and stuff like that, size and condition tends to win.
I do
So
think posing as well. Like, so the way carries herself, it's a
yeah,
very good presentation. And even like little things like so for example, like the difference between her and Laura, for example, who came second, they're such different physiques. But
yes,
when you watch like Laura posing, I feel like there was a couple little tweaks that maybe could have changed with her posing to bring out her shape even more. Whereas then when we look at like Sam's posing, I can't really comment too much on Sam's posing. She showcased her physique, the best for her physique. So again, it could be like, well, she's posing herself that bit better to still create the bikini X frame and the illusions that you're looking for as well. So it's one of those things, isn't it? Especially like you said, when you're bringing in other judges, who likes what, it isn't one person judging, they are tallying up everything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like you say, all it takes is for international judges that maybe come from countries where they're used to seeing smaller, more petite bikini girls. Takes a few of them to influence the judging outcome. So yeah, it'll just be interesting to see what gets rewarded later in the season. But I do think that in the over 35s, it was kind of the battle of size and condition versus shape and presentation.
Yeah, but like bloody good going. Like I said, she's won a couple shows, got obviously a pro card, then went straight in and won the pro show, which we'll touch on afterwards as well, because we'll do a little comparison there. But straight into the 45 plus. So on the Saturday, we had like 3 girls. And again, we actually had different winners on these days. So we had Lucy winning on the Saturday, and then we had Natalie winning on the Sunday. So Lucy, I think, had a very, very nice shape. So this is Lucy, the winner. Carries herself really nicely. Again, it's just that presentation. Chest is up nice and high, nice big smiles. Lovely shape. Really nice shape. Pose really nice. I just like that confidence in her posing.
Yeah, it's classy and confident.
Yeah.
It's like, I know this sounds like a weird thing to say, but it's what you would expect a confident Masters competitor to present
graceful.
themselves like. It's that I'm not asking permission for anyone to like me. I'm here, you're gonna like it. Like that's the energy that I kind of get from Lucy. And I know that she's competed before, so she's a seasoned competitor, so she knows what she's doing. But like the whole look is very eye-catching. Which you can't ignore her when she's on that stage.
I know what I bring to the table, so I'm just going to bring my best self, and what will be will be. That's
Absolutely.
it. There's not that like self-doubt. It's like I'm just gonna do me, and we'll go from there.
And I like the red. I know this sounds like a weird thing, but typically you'll hear people say, "Oh, blondes and reds don't go together." I think that's a bit of a myth. I think the right red with the right blonde can go very well. Well,
if you think about it, wellness, if you ever see a red bikini, it's normally always on a blonde girl. It's just not as seen on a bikini girl. Why should that really matter? If you've got blonde females, but just in wellness wearing red, like you said, as long as it's the right red, I think the thing it goes wrong is, because let's get her up, she's got a bright red. So with the warm tan, and if you've got like a warm blonde, then it's too like warm. I'm going to keep saying warm because it's a bright red and her hair is nice and blonde. It does add that contrast, because otherwise it's just too like orangey, it's too dark and it all blends. That's when it doesn't make sense. So don't go with like a dark red on a dark tan with a darker just with blonde as a whole, because it is that orangey yellowy tones, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's and you've got to have the right tone of tan. I think it makes it really important, because I think that if the tan was too light as well, it also can play off the wrong way. But no, as a look, I like it.
And then we had Natalie as the winner for the 45 plus.
Shredded.
And shredded. That's the thing. So she is not only shredded, but she's got muscle. So that's what it is. Like this is
By the way, I know this is like me just being a child. Well, it's not a child, but it's not relevant. But I really like her hair.
I'm shocked. I wouldn't have seen that coming.
I really like your hair. I feel like it's out of the way, but it's interesting to look at. And I feel like with PCA. I know this because like I like to play around with my look, obviously, but like I feel like PCA celebrate a unique look. Like if you want to style yourself in a way that's true to you and maybe a little bit against the grain and not what you would typically see people doing, if that's you, do it. They love a bit of uniqueness and a bit of self-expression. Like if it was two bros, not so much. But
it's not distracting hair. It's not a funky color. It's nothing crazy. It is just done in a nice way that's just bringing out obviously what is her personality, which is nice. Like, you know, because the more you feel confident in what you bring to the table, the more that's going to show on stage.
Absolutely. But sorry, I interrupted. You were actually going to talk about her wonderful physique, but I was like, oh my God, I love her hair.
So I absolutely shredded, posing really nicely. For like the 45 plus as well, to have that muscle there, like we can see the difference there when she pushes her glutes back and keeps them back. It makes a difference because it is harder when you're in the masters, like, you know, to have that pop so much. Like we aren't as fresh skinned, so delts are so lean, and yeah, posing is really nice. It's just those couple little tweaks with things like maybe just core control in the side shots and then popping the glutes straight into the back shot. I always call them like sad and happy glutes. No sad glutes. We don't do sad glutes.
This goes for everybody, by the way. But I would say more so with masters competitors, where as we age, the stretchiness of our skin starts to reduce, and it's looser, particularly round the glutes and in the legs. It's so important to constantly be on keeping your glutes pushed against the skin. Like what you don't really want when you're presenting yourself on stage is to show the judges at any point anything that they feel distracts from the bikini look that you're trying to show them. So, you know, when you're turning and presenting your glutes to the judges, it's so important to think, right, I need to keep my glute pushed back against the skin as I'm going through the transition. You know, what you don't want is to tuck the hips underneath you and then push the glutes back when you get in the pose, because what that says to the judges is, oh, her glutes only look like that because she's forcing them backwards. Whereas if you keep them pushed back against the skin the whole way through the transition, and then you get into the back pose and your glutes are already set, to them it's like, wow, she's had really good glutes through that whole transition. I could be convinced that that's just how they are. So, you know, sometimes it can go in your favor, and it may well be that in comparisons they were kept pressed against the skin more. We're purely just going off what was done in the eye walk. But for anybody, right, this isn't just a masters thing, but what I would say is if you are in the masters categories where your skin is maybe a little looser, or even if you're in the younger categories and you're potentially maybe not as lean as you'd like to be, or even if you're in the younger categories and have maybe gone through a big weight loss transformation and have some looser skin, really focusing on keeping those glutes pushed back against the skin at all times is just going to help create that definition that's going to help show the judges what they want to see.
Say like the biggest thing is like use the cue of like glutes push back, but don't let that then mean you lean forward. So think pelvis tilted up. So tilt the pelvis up all the time. Where your lower back always hurts when you're posing, just don't let that stop hurting. You've got to keep it hurting. And then as you land softly, like take your time with it. When we do big steps, that's when everything jiggles. You're like slowly moving and distribute your weight rather than boof boof like these heavy steps, because then again, that isn't just masters, that's all of us. Everything will jiggle if we land heavy. Think of a glide, not a step, and keep the pelvis tilted up, and it will make a big difference for your posing.
You want to think J shape with your back, right? So like keeping your back as upright as possible with a curve into that glute. Because if you hinge, because again, it's not who can push their glutes back the furthest, it's how far can you push your glutes back whilst keeping your back as upright as possible. So neither should compromise the other. You know, if you're pushing your glutes back but your upper body is tipping forward, you're presenting your back to the ceiling, and the last time I checked, the judges aren't sat up there. So you want to make sure that you keep that back nice and upright, so that they can see those shoulders and see the width of your back, but whilst not compromising your your glutes at the same time.
Perfect. And then we had the bikini shorts. So we had 3 girls on the Saturday. Then we had, if I've got this right, literally it shut me clean out, and I'm just like, what is going on
I
right
was
here?
like, if you watch this back and just listen to the sheer amount of nonsense that I was just talking, I was just laughing at
Offering.
myself for about 3 minutes.
Oh my God. But to be fair, I think I can crop you out, but I don't think I will, knowing that.
No, I think just listen to it back, and if it's entertaining,
Oh my
maybe
God.
put some caption over it going, bear with.
I was more thinking us fucking hell, we've been talking for 45 minutes. What if this is done? Oh my God. So
It's Victoria, by the way. It is
Victoria, yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, Vix, I absolutely shat myself when I listened to the quarter turn media interviews and Adrian called you Victoria, and I was like, I'm sure it's Vix, but it's Vix.
Okay, so Vix.
Oh, I'm just saying,
Well, Vix
not to throw Adrian
went
under
in
the bus or
and
anything,
did-
but
Well, Vix went in and did
are
very,
you
very
still there?
well. So
Oh,
obviously we saw.
you cut out for a second there.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm connected to Wi-Fi and I'm at home.
She did.
Why is my Wi-Fi being a dick? Right, am I back?
This is where we watch it back and it's not working.
Oh my God. No, it has been recording, so we've just got to hope it
Okay.
continues to record. Okay, so I'm too
Excellent.
scared to move. So she was in wellness, and then we were very much like, not wellness. From our personal opinion, you would smash bikini. Then what did she go and do?
The other girl in the green bikini, she was wellness, wasn't she?
Lauren, yes.
Lauren, she did wellness,
Yeah.
I think, in First Timers, didn't she? I think.
Oh, I can't watch her page.
Am I making it up?
I don't know if it was the first timers, maybe first timers, but she's definitely done
Hang on.
wellness.
I'm sure I can find out. Anyway, you carry on talking. I'll
Okay.
find out.
So anyway, we said looks lovely, especially because when we saw her in the pose down, and we were like, get into a bikini category because wellness is very much lower body dominant, and we just you're so balanced. So lovely quads, amazing quads,
Oh,
very
we love
neat.
the quads.
But the side shots
Yes,
were
ma'am.
just too balanced. So I don't know whether it was from. It'd be great if it was from our opinion. You're welcome. But either way, well done for putting yourself in bikini because you absolutely dominated. You won the Saturday. You won the overall. You then went into Sunday. You won against the 13 girls, 12, 13 girls. You won your pro card. You got to step on stage on the pro stage. And did she win the overall on the Sunday as well?
Yes.
Before going into the pro show? Yeah.
Yes.
So,
and then came fifth or
Yeah.
sixth in
and there was about
sixth
10
in the pro show.
girls in the pro show as well. Or
I
whatever it was.
remember saying to her partner, I was like, do you know what? Like, don't underestimate that because I can't begin to tell you how difficult it is to place in the pro show as a new pro because I think people hugely underestimate this, that by the time you get to the pro show as a new pro, you've done your class, the overall, and then you're being asked to go and do the pro show straight away afterwards. You are absolutely battered, right? Especially if you've been in big classes. And let's not forget, Vix competed the day before as well.
Yeah.
So like for her to be going into the pro show, not her freshest, against experienced pros that were coming in fresh and still place top 6, I think that's something that shouldn't be
And especially
overlooked.
going from first timers, literally, the week before? First timers, the qualifier, overalls, like, absolutely smashed it. So, well done. to Vix.
Congratulations. We love to see it.
Then we had the bikini tall. So we had,
It was the Saxon, by the way, that
that was it.
Lauren did wellness.
I do think it's a good move to go into bikini. I think she
I
is a
agree.
nice bikini look. So she got second on the Saturday, and then fourth again. It
See,
was
that's a good
12:30 girls.
result.
That's a very good result. I do think she's very much again. It's where we said the same with Vix. It's a balanced look. She's
Yeah.
got the balance from top to bottom.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And fair play, because if Lauren's, well, if we knew that Vix had a lat spread on her already, because she was doing figure posing and all of that.
Yeah.
So clearly that wasn't new to her. But I don't know if Lauren had maybe the whole way through her prep and maybe even off season been beelined on wellness. You know, if you had to learn a lat spread quick, having not done that before, that's a lot of it. Takes people a long time to learn how to do that. So like I say,
yeah.
I don't know if maybe you had any experience of doing it before, but if you didn't, what I'm saying is you did a good
Well
job with
done.
that.
Yeah, it's without being like saying one way or the other. It's easier to go from bikini to wellness
Yes.
than it is from wellness to bikini.
Agreed.
So credit to you, especially if you haven't been practicing it, to then get yourself in it in just a few weeks is like really good going. Then we had the bikini tool. So we had Kat. There was three or four girls on the Saturday, and there was how many girls was there on Sunday? There was 6 girls on the Sunday. So Kat came first on the Saturday. Really nice shape, nice big full glutes. But I know it was very much a harder decision between the bikini tall girls because there was Amy. Again, this is where, same with Masters, it was 2 different looks. So you had, let's get the bikini tall. It was Sophia that won the bikini tall.
You know, Sophia came over from Spain, and I'll be honest with you, like I saw her. I'm sure she was a first timer in her regional in Spain, and I remember seeing them post her, and I instantly followed her because I was like, "That's some shape, right?"
Yeah,
like she just
nice.
has it, like the silhouette and the structure. I was like, "Wow, like that's a look." So you know, there's a very nice wide clavicle, tiny waist, appropriate glute depth that's all very lovely balanced. So yeah, I to be honest wasn't surprised when I saw that this was the outcome.
Nope, she presents herself really nicely. Just generally, like her overall structure is it is bikini. Top line, delts,
Bubbly
waist,
delts, yeah.
glute, like it's a nice poppy bikini because it is in contrast when you've got Amy who's super lean. Like her structure is lovely and it's
Crazy
there, like
good, yeah.
wide top line, really fucking lean. So you know,
Shredded.
so different between first and second because I guess some people would sometimes think, well, if that's first, you go something similar for second. But again, Amy's brought what looks good on her. If she was trying to fill out, she just doesn't have as much muscle to fill out as
agreed.
Sophia. And if Sophia got inside out lean, would she just start looking like too lean? So 2 very different looks for first and second, but both bringing their best. And just where Sophie, and this is bikini, you need muscle in bikini, so she does have that muscle and that fullness to present that little bit more.
Yeah, 100%. I think, like I say, both of them were really great looks. And they both got really great structures as well. So it's I think literally for this result, it was purely a case of muscle.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it was muscle that won. And Sophia just had a bit more
maturity side to it.
Yeah, bit more density. Which gave it a more fuller look with appropriate condition, I feel was probably the deciding factor. Even though she wasn't as lean as Amy, they favoured the more muscular with appropriate condition look.
And it's not always who is the leanest. The leanest looks great if like you can get that lean, but ultimately, like say she was to Sophia, for example, to get that lean, like it probably wouldn't look that good on her. When you look at like, I know it's PCA and it's not like Olympians and stuff, but when you look at what is bikini as a whole, bikini is that full muscle, like poppy look to it. So I think she had a really nice look. And then there wasn't anyone for trained on the Saturday, but we did have Alice back on the, but I don't know if they've posted anything about Alice.
I haven't seen her reel, but
no, but we did, we'll still mention her. We had Alice. Oh, hopefully she'll be down in the overall. Had Alice, who was the only trained person, the only trained girl who has competed before. She does look great for trained. It's just that mixture between muscle and leanness that she does have. So well done for Alice. It's a shame you had to be on stage by yourself again, but well done for like.
It was a lovely look though. Like I was stage side when she went on stage. There she is, and like it had she had impact when she went up there. Yeah, again, like my critique would be the same with the posing, is just not forcing those elbows too far forward, because it can just it can take away from the pop in the shoulder. We want to be thinking height.
Because she's clearly got muscle, but I think just bringing them forward is just then making them like roll
rounding
forward,
them,
rather than lifting them up and like back to get that fullness and that pop there. It's just been pushed forward. But like trained is muscle condition.
She's got
That's
that.
what she's got. So huge well done to Alice for getting back up there as well. It's just a shame you weren't up against anyone. Then
I'm surprised there haven't been more bikini trained
I am
girls.
so surprised. And then we had, does it go into the overall first? Do we have the overall? So yeah, the pro bikini first, and then it was the masters pro bikini. So there was something, I did this one. And,
You did, surprise!
I'm
a little black bikini.
Yeah, this is where, again, talking about bikini colours, not many people wear black, and then not a lot of people can pull it off. But I can't pull off a lot of colours, but I can pull off black.
Black is a colour that I associate with you. And, you know, I think my summary of the pro, because I know you're probably going to find it hard to be objective because you're in this lineup yourself. But I think that if you look at the top three, which would have been Khalees, Claire, and yourself, you guys had the best balance of muscle density to condition. You know, I think like Khalees and Claire probably have two of the best bikini structures in the pro division for PCA, in my opinion, because they've got huge wide clavicles, tiny waist, these delts that sit up on top of their shoulders. Like when those girls are on, that's hard to beat. And I think that, you know, we can't be under any, and I say we as a bikini pro myself, right? Like I'm out here fighting for my life against these girls. Like when I see them turn up, I'm like, all right then, like, well, I'm probably fighting for second call outs. Like it's fine. Like, but when you get to this level as pro, if you've got amazing structures and they are on, that it doesn't matter how good you are. That's hard to beat. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it is apples and oranges when it comes to pros. But if you've got a hugely wide clavicle, a tiny waist, and you've got that exaggerated X frame, you're going to be in the top placings. Now, G, you've got muscle, like you were bursting full. Do you know what I mean? Like I would say that
I didn't actually fill up for it.
No.
So I had to go with what I've got. But what it gets me every time is I am so short.
But you look dense. Do you know what I mean?
That are like, look at me next to Claire. Why am I shoulder height? And I don't know how old Claire is, but I am a lot older than a lot of people. Like that is just crazy. So yeah, looking at obviously when you've got Khalees and Claire and stuff, like Khalees, even though she's so young, just her structure, her waist disappears.
Nuts.
She doesn't have maybe as much muscle, but what she has is so lovely. That top line, that waist just doesn't like the ratios. Her structure
100%
is just absolutely nuts.
This is what I'm saying. I'm going to use me as an example. In order to be competitive against a structure like this, I would have to hope to hell that she's having a really bad day. And it's the same with, I've competed against Claire multiple times and been like, okay then, like.
Look at that. That's just such a strong look. Like, considering I'm armpit height to her. She just looks. I'm like in awe of it. Like I don't care if like I'm older, younger, whatever than anyone. Like, that's an impressive physique. So
Let's
like,
be honest though, both of those girls are tall, right?
oh
And
yeah,
I think as
everyone was
well,
tall. I was next to Libs as well. I was so little.
Lib's also tall. But like I think that no, but that screams volumes for you. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like you're the anomaly in that. Because we all know as pro bikini competitors, if you are tall with muscle, that is impressive because that's a hard frame to fill, right? Like if you've got long limbs and you're tall, it is hard to make that your physique look as impressive. When you're shorter and you're more compact, typically it's easier to fill the frame. But like I know you said that like you didn't really fill out, and we know that there was a situation with Pump Up because they changed the order of the pro running last minute. So I think a lot of you girls probably didn't have the opportunity to pump up the way that you would have liked to, which is a shame. You just looked dense. Like I love it. I love it. It's like you just got up there and screamed muscle. And like I think that that's probably what would have favoured you, because we talked about if we take Sophia for example in Bikini Tall, like she had that really appropriate balance of fullness to condition, and you probably beat people that were more conditioned than you, but your muscle was full and it was bursting and you just looked dense. So that's what would have put you in that top three, as compared to the people that you beat. You looked big even though you're little.
You know, I want to just sidebar as well, because I do get a few people talking to me about this, and I know I've brought it up before, and it is a little bit more particular for NPC, specifically for like abroad shows like pro qualifiers and stuff, but is my psoriasis. So I didn't actually do as much psoriasis care in the lead up to this, so I'd pause it onto my glute shot, because I'm covered in psoriasis all over, where you don't want it as a bikini gal. I get it all over my glutes and my waist. But as you can see, it obviously hasn't affected my placings as such.
Genuinely, G, until you mentioned it, I hadn't noticed it.
I just look like I've got a really dodgy tan.
No, genuinely, I only looked for it because you mentioned it.
Yeah.
If you hadn't have said anything, like even on the day I was there in person, hadn't noticed it.
I think people get caught up with psoriasis and stretch marks and moles and things, and that's why I'm bringing it up, because like I obviously know, like the first thing I noticed on that reel was, to be fair, I went, oh god, my skin, but then went, oh god, hang on, I got some glutes. So I can always see the positive. I'm never going to pull myself apart because I'm fucking proud of where I've come from. But I get so many girls that get so worried about, because you see it on yourself day to day, and then you watch these reels and then you won't notice it in other people. So this is like a sidebar. If you have psoriasis, eczema, stretch marks, moles, something that you are insecure about because you see it all the time, know that you're probably not going to see it on the on show day. Like you are pulling yourself apart because you don't see what anyone else has, because that's your insecurity. You pull it apart on yourself. That's like a little reminder for anyone else. If you've got marks or issues, like you can see I've got like little bits up there and there, like I know where it is, but I know people don't tend to notice, but because I know I've got it, I will notice it more.
You'll know as a coach, you'll get it from your clients all the time. They'll send you a check-in over and go something like, oh, I'm sorry about the face I'm pulling, or I'm sorry about the spots, or where, and I'm like, mate, if you hadn't said anything, I wouldn't have even looked at it the same way that you did. So, and that's true to all of you with a lot of stuff that happens in life. Don't highlight it, because whatever you're insecure about, you don't need to draw it to people's attention, because 9 times out of 10 they're not going to notice it unless you highlight it. But one thing I did just want to go back to if we take Claire and Khalees for example, because Claire is probably one of the most prolific bikini competitors when it comes to PCA. Like, she's won them all, right? And like this look here is still, in my opinion, a winning level physique. I think that and I'm sure that she would say the same thing. So this isn't a criticism that she's going to be surprised to hear. this is appropriate level for of condition for Bikini. However, it is not as sharp as we're used to seeing her, and not as sharp as I think the judges will have been used to seeing her. So even though it's enough, the judges probably would have been like, we've seen Claire sharper than this before. And so that may have swung it or been enough to swing it. Because everybody knows what Claire looks like when she's on top of her game. And I think she'd even been on social media to say that like she's only 9 weeks into her prep. So this is what I'm saying when these girls are like at this kind of level, that she's prepped for 9 weeks and still second in a pro show. Like that goes to show the type of person that you're dealing with.
Credit to when you've got muscle, because when you've got muscle and you can chip it off, that muscle pokes through more. So just like we said about the, people chasing a glute ham tie, they haven't got the muscle there, they just get scrawny. When you've got muscle and you pull the fat off, it pops sooner. Yes. So I'm sure like she jumped into this show to get the like maybe brushed off some nerves, get the ball rolling. Why not? You can try and win some money to start your season off. Like it's there, and then just keep it while you're fresh as well. It's not like you're trying to hold and then you've got a load of other shows. Like if she's still planning on dieting into things, like it's genuinely mad.
But that front pose is exceptional. I think that it's funny, if you look at Khalees and Claire, they've both got exceptional structures. I think Khalees's side poses are exceptionally strong.
Oh, her waist
the waist to glute ratio's crazy. So this is what I'm saying, is like when you get to pro level, a lot of it is structure as much as it is muscle and condition. And that's not to take away from any of these girls and be like, oh, you're just winning because of what mummy and daddy gave you. It's like, you're winning because of what mummy and daddy gave you and everything that you built on top of that. Do you know what I mean? So it's when people say hard work can outdo genetics, it's like, correct, if genetics aren't doing everything that they're meant to be doing. If genetics are working as hard as you, as far as I'm concerned, these two are the prime example of what that means when it's like genetics are putting in the work.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat.
Hard work beats talent until talent doesn't work hard.
Yes.
So, yeah, all of those quotes. But yeah, honestly.
Just to recap, you looked massive.
Thanks. No, that. I am sad I didn't get to pump purely for my own photos, because I know like I get really quite freaky and vascular when I pump up. The next day in the gym, my sister videoed me doing RDLs, and it was like everything was just because it was hot, and that was RDLs. I just had some tension on my arms, and like everything went really freaky. And so for my own photos and like the video, I would have like I wouldn't have changed the placing. I was fucking gassed about my placing, but considering that was like a 2-week prep. But I just, when you're like, I would have liked to see myself a bit freakier.
Oh,
but
look, I get it.
I had loads of fun.
At the end of the day, like, especially when you get to pro level, you know when you're on the way you need to be on. And there is nothing worse than going up there knowing that you're not quite there. But it was still enough.
More than anything.
Yeah. Like, because to the judges and everything, it was still good enough for you to get a top place. And so it's like, it's no harm, no foul. But like you say, I think all of us, we know what looks we need to bring to nail it when we get up there. So if we've missed the mark a little bit, sometimes that can be a little bit disappointing, but more for our own personal reasons than anything else.
Then we had the Pro Masters, and there was 5 in the Pro Masters, and we had M, who, like we said, she's won an overall before, but she won a pro card, then won the overall, which is absolutely crazy. So huge, well done.
Congratulations. That's no mean feat, that, especially when you're not going into the pro show fresh either. So yeah, you should be super proud of that. But I think, just like what I was touching on earlier, like, I know that Denise and Elizabeth, who came second and third, like, they're seasoned Masters pros. And I would, this is what I'm saying. So size wise and condition, these girls can bring it. But that's not what was favoured at this show, because I think, and this is no insult, by the way, to you, Em, at all. Your look was what the judges favoured on the day, and no one can take that away from you. That's not me saying that this is better or worse. Like, I think all of you bring appropriate Masters bikini looks. It's just typically what we're used to seeing in the judging from PCA is that they tend to favour the harder, bigger, leaner looks, particularly because the Masters category criteria is bigger, harder, leaner. So I think structure, presentation, balance probably went in M's favour for this particular show. And this was why I was kind of interested to see if this is how they continue to play it as we go through the season, because I would say that Denise and Elizabeth are probably typical of what we would expect to see in Pro Masters up to now.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see obviously the regionals and stuff, because I do feel like, was that an impact from having a judging panel from overseas?
Yes.
Or is that, which I don't think it is going to be, the fact that the judging has now changed its criteria. I do wonder if it's more so just the overseas side of things having an impact, and obviously everything gets tallied up and that's what it is. So it will be interesting, obviously, seeing the next few regionals, depending who turns up, but then mainly the finals at the end of the year, with and worlds, seeing how they go.
But I think it's just important to highlight that, like, these are all Pro Masters bikini competitors. Like, none of them are not appropriate for the category. Like, let's not forget, PCA they handpick their pros. So anybody that's a pro, they see as being appropriate for fitting the Pro Masters bikini category criteria, and they're all great physiques. But even when you pan across, I would say that M is probably the smaller one out of all of them. So, yeah, they just favoured, I would say, maybe shape and overall balance.
Yeah, and it could even be, again, down to posing. The way, obviously, presents herself is very, very lovely, very confident on stage. So, I mean, again, not everyone that competed, there was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pro cards out of what is like 7 bikini classes that was given out. So not everyone does get a pro card. So,
and also, in case anybody's wondering, there wasn't a wellness pro show because they won't have that unless there's any existing wellness competitors registered. So if there had been, they would have done it, but there weren't any. So even though G got her pro card, she wouldn't have been able to compete because there weren't any other wellness pros to compete against.
So that is everyone.
We haven't done too bad. I was expecting this to be a lot longer.
No, I think because we managed to flip between the two,
and we had the tea break in the middle.
Like, I might just keep it in. Like, literally, less editing, the better. And also, it's very real of us.
Typical.
There are no... clothing. We've got new clothing coming out.
Yes.
We spoke about this. Hang on, I spoke about this on my story. So we've got a vest. Let me show it off. This is all
cute. Look at that.
And then it's got it on the back.
Ooh.
Let me show your parents. So baseball. So I was wearing this on show day, and it was actually very, very breezy because it's like got the little things in it.
It's like NFL kind of material.
Oh, hang on. You can tell I've been wearing this. This is a jumper. I was wearing this morning.
Oh, cute. Love it.
Again, this is quite nice because it's like ribbed material, so it's quite thick. It has stage standard down the side. So, yeah, we've got joggers, we've got a vest, we've got, like, just a couple bits. So, because we just kind of want to bring the community... Well, firstly, we were like, we want some gym clothing that we really like, that's comfortable, that's, like, unisex, oversized, pump covers, things like that. You can wear for show day, day to day. And then also that kind of brings this community together, because that's what, like, this is what we're trying to get with this. So... let us know your thoughts on it. We've got a couple alterations to do with it, but I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. I got quite excited over it because we got it properly designed and in like imported, embroidered, everything. This isn't a we bought from Shein and printed jobby. This is like a we designed these outfits. So like full on design.
No judgment.
So we so very excited to see how that goes. And then next week there isn't a show, so we said about potentially doing like we could do a question box, we could do something in that sense. So yeah, we'll have a little think. We could always put something on our Instagrams, but that is everything.
Yeah.
We've done it. So that was the
We
Universe
have.
weekend. Then there's finally another Two Bros show. So we will be back next week as normal. Then it is PCA Southwest and the Two Bros regional in Wales. That's going on. So we'll be covering that the weekend afterwards.
Love it.
So we will see you in the next one. Remember, all the same, like,
Subscribe, all
share,
that.
comment, tell us what's going on, everything. And we will see you in the next one.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.